When Faith comes out, I've learned that I have a lot to learn. And watching her on stage this year and watching her perform every night has been so impressive to me.
When it comes to country music, there is no power couple like Faith Hill and Tim McGraw. Whenever the two are on stage together, the crowd goes absolutely crazy. They give off the impression of a happily married couple because to their public displays of affection and their hopelessly romantic attitudes. But even the finest marriages have bad patches. Tim McGraw recently discussed their relationship's resilience in the face of adversity in a podcast interview. Let's hear his side of the story. Ridgeland, Mississippi, not far from Jackson, is the birthplace of country music legend Faith Hill, who was born on September 21, 1967. Her adoptive parents gave her the name Audrey Faith Perry when she was a newborn. She and her two brothers were nurtured in a very devout home by her parents, Edna and Ted Perry, in the town of Star. It wasn't until Faith was 3 years old that she realized how much she loved singing. Everyone at Star Baptist Church could see she was talented when she sang there. She had her first public performance at a 4-H luncheon when she was only 7 years old. After that, Faith traveled to the State Fair Coliseum in Jackson to see Elvis Presley perform when she was 9 years old. Her desire to pursue a profession in music was further fueled by that life-altering event. She began performing at local churches as a youngster as a member of the Steels family, a gospel quartet. At regional rodeos, she would perform with her own band. Faith attended college for a while after graduating from high school in 1986, but she dropped out at the age of 19 and relocated to Nashville. Her one and only lifelong goal was to make it as a country singer. She sold t-shirts and worked at McDonald's to scrape by, but her dreams were bigger. An employee at her firm heard her sing and that she be considered for a role as a demo vocalist for their record label. That was her big break. In addition to her regular job, she would sing background vocals for composer Gary Burr, who would often play his new songs at the Bluebird Cafe in Nashville. An executive from Warner Brothers Records was captivated by one of these performances. After that, Faith's professional life began to blossom, but her personal life was in shambles. There was Faith's first husband, Daniel Hill, before she discovered her lifelong spouse, Tim. Their story started in 1988, when they were both only 21 years old when they married the wedding. Over this period, Faith took the surname Hill. Their romance developed when Faith was just starting out in the country music world, carving out a niche for herself. Nevertheless, Daniel said that their marriage encountered difficulties 6 years down the road as a result of major personal and career changes occurring in Faith's life. In retrospect, Daniel said that he failed to really understand what Faith went through during those turbulent years. As she battled burnout from the pressures of the music business and her quest for stardom in the early 1990s, Faith faced obstacles. A quest that would have a tremendous effect on her was the desire to reunite with her biological mother, which added to her inner agony. When Faith eventually saw her biological mother, she remembered a range of feelings, including amazement, recognition, and pleasure. It was a turning point that satisfied a need she had. Sadly, her marriage to Daniel came to an end at the start of this life-altering event. Daniel spoke up about how his relationship with Faith took a dramatic turn for the worst once she reconnected with her biological mother. Its devastating effect on Faith had a domino effect throughout their marriage, which caused it to fail. Faith Hill's rise to fame as a country music star paralleled the ups and downs of her private life. She began searching for her biological mother in 1990 and met her in 1993. In order to protect her privacy, Hill elected not to publicly identify her biological mother, although she maintained contact with her. But her mother's return to her life had a profound impact on her first marriage, which is well known. After getting back on her feet after her divorce from Daniel Hill, Faith refocused her attention on her work and made a triumphant return. The first studio album by Faith Hill, Take Me As I Am, was released in 1993 and was commercially successful due to the single Wild One. With this single, Hill became the first female country artist in 30 years to hold the top spot on Billboard for 4 weeks in a row. In 1994, her rendition of Piece of My Heart reached the top spot on the country charts. 3 million copies of the record were sold. One of the other popular tracks on the album is Take Me As I Am. Hill was getting ready to record her second album in 1994 when she went on tour with other notable country artists, including Alan Jackson, Reba McEntire, and Brooks and Dunn. Hill had to postpone recording her second album because she had to have surgery to fix a broken blood vessel on her voice cords. When it was finally released in 1995, It Matters to Me was yet another smashing success. The title tune went on to become her third #1 country song. For the first half of 1996, the title track topped the country music charts. Hill's subsequent studio album, Faith, went platinum in only 6 weeks. Tracks This Kiss and Just to Hear You Say That You Love Me both peaked at the top of the country music charts. Hill experimented with pop music with the publication of her album Faith, which also signaled a change in her genre. She began her meteoric rise to pop stardom with a performance on the VH1 Special Divas Live, which included Tina Turner, Whitney Houston, and Elton John. Hill has a more pop-oriented album, Breathe, published in November 1999. She had a transformation in her professional reputation as a result of the seductive music video for the title song. She received award nominations from pop music programs, and the record sold a lot of copies. Breathe was her songwriting credit, and in 2003, she took home 2 Grammys, one for Best Country Album and another for Best Country Female Vocal Performance. In 1994, during a music event featuring new talents, Faith Hill and Tim McGraw crossed paths. This was long before they became Nashville stars. Faith was engaged to Scott Hendricks at the time, while Tim was seeing Christine Donahue. Fortunately, fate had other plans for these two romantics in 1996. They met as opening acts on Tim McGraw's Spontaneous Combustion tour, and their lives were permanently altered by the spark that Faith Hill ignited. The two of them ended their prior relationships and began a new love story among the flurry of performances and electric connection they experienced. "We were young, head over heels, and downright smitten," Tim said in an interview with People magazine, evoking a picture of their early love. As if straight out of a Hollywood romance, Tim made a grand entrance to practically drop the question to Faith. Imagine this. It's a country music festival on June 26, 1996, with a little rain softly tapping on the roof outside. Tim got down on one knee and held Faith's hands tightly. "Marry me," he muttered, his pulse racing with anxious anticipation. Faith, who was both surprised and enchanted, said an emphatic yes, and they sealed their destiny with affirmations written on a Sharpie with lipstick. That is not, however, the whole tale. In a wedding that caught everyone by delighted surprise, Faith Hill and Tim McGraw said, "I do," on October 6, 1996. Friends and family came to witness the union of two people who were madly in love, turning what began as a charity baseball spectacle into a touching celebration of love. Tim McGraw and Faith Hill's love journey is like a romantic comedy script, full of unexpected meetings, onstage proposals, and secret weddings. Country music's superstar pair Tim McGraw and Faith Hill have won fans over with their captivating solo performances and mesmerizing duets. Imagine if they were to perform together after years of singing passionately individually. The result would be like a pyrotechnic display. Their sonic adventure reads like a lovely children's tale. They teased us with some amazing duets in the 90s and 00S, and we wanted more. Next, In. 2017 brought us their full-length album, The Rest of Our Life. It's like opening a treasure trove filled with musical pearls that demonstrate their ability will never go out of style. Let's focus on a few of their most popular songs. An embrace from a dear friend is what I Need You feels like. The tender, innocent love that exists between Tim and Faith is the central focus. They sound as harmonious as two peas in a pod when they harmonize their voices. Also, It's Your Love is an unforgettable song. The warmth of this 1997 treasure is like a blanket on a cold night. No surprise it became a smash hit and captivated our hearts with its poignant lyrics and familiar vocals. The duet between Tim and Faith in Let's Make Love evokes an idyllic love tale put to music. Let us now present you to Speak to a Girl. In this tender and insightful song, Tim and Faith show us that genuine love goes beyond material possessions. Lastly, we have Love Me to Lie. This emotional roller coaster has stunning melodies and honest lyrics that will pull at your emotions. A mesmerizing performance by Tim and Faith, accompanied just by their vocals and a piano, will take your breath away. However, that is not all, everyone. Additional pranks are in store for Tim and Faith. They cover a wide range of topics in their songs, from love to life, humor, and everything in between. From upbeat dance tracks to more melancholy ballads, and everything in between, their music has it all. The chemistry they had while performing is also important to note. Tim and Faith are like two old friends on stage together. They're lovely, they fit well, and they seem natural. What an intriguing love tale. Let's discuss it. Those days of their tour bus being dubbed the Love Bus are long gone. Those were the best periods of their lives. But now that 20 years have passed, the real issue is, how are they able to maintain their love? Their love has remained unwavering through thick and thin, a testament to how far they have come. Tim McGraw and Faith Hill, two of the biggest names in country music, joined together for an unforgettable performance on the Soul to Soul 2000 tour. Because it was a first for these gifted musicians to go on a tour together, their performance was unforgettable. Not only did Tim and Faith have incredible chemistry, but their diverse musical tastes also made this tour one of a kind. Tim gravitated toward more conventional country music, while Faith dabbled with pop and other styles. This fusion of genres attracted a diverse fan base and mirrored the variety of country music at that period. With approximately $50 million in earnings and over 1 million spectators, the Soul to Soul 2000 tour was an enormous success. They were recognized as one of the most innovative tour packages of the year, and the majority of their concerts were sold out. One of the most successful country music tours of 2000, thanks to the electrifying performances by Tim and Faith. The love story between Tim and Faith was also a major part of this tour, not only the music. Even though they had toured together in 1996, something was different about this tour. This was all in promotion of Tim's A Place in the Sun and Faith's smash hit Breathe. The tour was originally scheduled to wrap up in October, but due to its overwhelming success, it was extended until the end of the year. Even though their Atlanta debut sold out, their New York City performance at Madison Square Garden was the highlight of the tour. Even Tim's famous baseball player father and Roger Clemens came to show their support because of how big of a deal it was. The stage design was also impressive, offering a full arena experience with its unique 360 degrees layout. After a brief intermission, Tim joined Faith in her set, and the two of them took turns going first. After that, they performed duets, culminating in a unique performance of Go Your Own Way by Fleetwood Mac. The tour was met with mixed reviews from critics. While some were enthralled by the musical variety and chemistry between Tim and Faith, others were less impressed by Faith's performance. In sum, Tim and Faith's Soul to Soul 2000 tour was a huge success that won over fans and set the stage for more collaborations in the future. After 2 years, she got tired of me, but I kept trying, McGraw joked with the ladies of The View in 2015. Being married to a gorgeous singer who is also incredibly successful can be a lot of work. That much is obvious. In addition to their music, they are constantly involved in endorsement deals and other projects, and their millions of adoring fans can't get enough of them. This is relevant to their situation together. I had affairs with my makeup artist and hairstylist, my marriage is in trouble, and Maggie is not Tim's child, Hill said in 1998, going on to list off the rumors. I could care less about the pessimists. My life is full enough as it is. If that's how they pass the time, then fine. People's methods of amusement have evolved little over the years. The only difference is that everything is done online now. Additionally, hoping to spend a great deal of time together was sometimes interpreted as preventing the other person from enjoying their own company. With the 2013 release of 2 Lanes of Freedom, McGraw's first album with Big Machine Records following 20 years with Curb Records, speculations intensified. As always, a new chapter means more headlines and gossip. As McGraw explained to People, these rumors have been around since the first week, despite the fact that they have been married for 17 years. We don't even think about them. The only time we worry is about the kids, but they're used to it too, so they don't take it seriously. Rumors are spreading like crazy right now for some reason. It's confusing. I don't understand why happy can't be a story. That being said, rumors of a split are common for famous couples, especially after 20 years. Apparently, it's nothing new for them. What really exists between Hill and McGraw is a bond of trust, respect, shared values, and unfaltering support through thick and thin. In 2009, Hill spoke highly of her husband, stating, "Tim has given me confidence, strength, and my foundation. He makes me feel like I can do anything." Her May tribute for McGraw's 50th birthday demonstrated that she continues to feel the same way. McGraw also praises his wife, stating, "I'm lucky to have her. She's the light of our family's life. We all look up to her example." On the 2009 The Blindside press tour, McGraw made the following confession. "I would have partied too hard if not for Faith. She saved me from myself. My wife makes me a better man, and any man who knows his worth appreciates a gift like that and never lets it go." Despite the difficulties of fame and constant scrutiny, Tim McGraw and Faith Hill have created a strong and lasting partnership. There have been highs and lows along their path together, but their commitment to each other has never wavered. Rumors and speculation have followed Tim and Faith from the beginning of their marriage all the way up until now. The couple has learnt to ignore rumors of marital discord or adultery and concentrate on what's important: their love for one another and their children. Take a guess as to what Tim McGraw recently revealed. Some very private information. On the Apple Music One podcast, he spoke with Zane Lowe about how he feels completely lost without Faith Hill. What would it be like? Tim and Faith have been married for a long time, and he has been effusive in his praise of Faith for being there for him no matter what. He even voiced his thoughts about how his life might have turned out differently if Faith hadn't been there. Tim expressed his feelings, saying, "If I hadn't married Faith when I was 29, I might have messed up my career big time. Or worse, I might not even be here today with my career in ruins. She's like the secret sauce that makes everything better." They have been together non-stop since their love story began in Tim's hometown in Louisiana. They have a special way of lifting each other's spirits when one of them is feeling low. It's as if they possessed some unique superpower. Wow, what a dynamic duo. Tim said, "When I'm feeling down in the dumps, Faith's there to give me a boost. And when she's feeling low, I've got her back." However, there were moments of difficulty. The years that Tim refers to as his wild years were not easy. He freely acknowledged that he wasn't exactly a pleasant person to be around in those days. He went so far as to say that Faith was the one who finally got him to stop going out. The man said, "You know, when you're out there living the high life, playing great shows and the parties non-stop, it's easy to lose sight of what's important. But having Faith by my side, calling me out when I went too far, that changed everything." He was also not shy. Tim admitted that Faith put up with a lot from him, particularly regarding his drinking. When Faith's children began to notice, she finally told him he needed to change. They take great delight in their 3 daughters, Gracie, Maggie, and Audrey. Family, according to Tim, isn't about money or stardom, but rather about love and support. Faith and I always understood that our families would always come first. We were married at the tender age of 29, and we were both killed in the process. Determined to create a harmonious household, Tim and Faith ensured that their daughters received a typical childhood, disregarding their celebrity status. While they were on vacation, they would take them on tours. However, once school began, they were allowed no work and only family time. Tim talked about how we lived just like any other family. We'd show up at events as Mr. and Mrs. McGraw, and our house was always buzzing with our daughters and their friends. Thank you for watching this video. Till we meet again.